everybody. Russell Miami's 11. Hope you're all safe and well. If you're channel, please see subscribing. Hitting the bell icon so you every time you put new content on. As always, I think I love your channel sponsors. Untuck it. Check them out in the description below. Yada, yada, yada. I'm very disappointed because today's guest had a little little baby. And that's gone. I was looking forward to talking to the little baby. Anyway, so Izzy, for those of you who don't know Izzy, I mean, you must know Izzy. He captained the nine. He was probably one of the last. He probably was the last West Ham person to touch silverware. I reckon. He probably is, though, isn't it? Maybe the Intertoto Cup was that summer as well. So yeah, maybe okay. One of the last West Ham players to touch silverware in the FA Youth Cup final in 1999, when they demolished Coventry in those two legs. Amazing day. We'll talk about that. And obviously was with the club for how many years were you with the club? Oh God, from
it's crazy. I was signed schoolboys, I think. On the 14s, then left at 21, I think. 21.
7 years. So it's like 7-8 years.
Yeah.
You get less. Yeah, exactly. You usually say you get less for murder, but 8 years is
yeah.
I know. How are we, Izzy? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. You know, just all coping with the situation at the moment. So hopefully, like they said, it's gonna unlock it a little bit and let everybody get back to reality.
Oh, it's weird, isn't it? It's like, I mean, when that roadmap came out, everyone's like, oh, here we go. And then you look at it again and you go, hang on, it's not till June that it's all back to normal.
They're probably going to extend that again after June. Yeah, you never know.
Don't say that. But at least there's like light at the end of the tunnel. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like at least you've got like a point rather than everyone thinking it was going to be Easter, thinking it's going to be. So hopefully the summer, and you know, obviously from a football perspective, if the roadmap works, you know, we should have 10,000 in for the last game of the season, I think.
Oh, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Is it last game of the season, you know, qualifying for the Champions League?
That's what I like, that's what I like. Confidence, my man.
But
I mean, that's one thing that we haven't had to worry about really this season, which has been nice. Or this weird world we live in now, really, in that, you know, West Ham have been playing all right this season. We're doing all right, and I'm looking. As you said, champion could be.
I can't believe it, really. Like, you know, kudos to David Moyes. Done really a great job with the team, with the squad. You know, but do you think it's helped them without fans?
Do you know what? I'll be honest, because obviously I'm still there. Because obviously they still play the music and everything there now. Yeah. But for me, honestly, I think at the beginning, yes. Now, no. Now at the beginning, yes, because obviously we stayed up, and we stayed up a couple of games spare. It was relatively simple after restart, I'd say, to be honest. And then obviously the summer, you know, Grady going at the last day, and then obviously Mark coming out of that statement, and so you know, there's a lot of hostility, and obviously then we lost that first game, which is a game we all thought we had to win because we had this sort of nightmare run at the beginning of the season. So I think it would have actually been a weight on the players' backs. But now, and then so obviously, but then obviously no fans. It means they could have grown into that team and the team that they are now. Now I think they're cacking to get fans in because, you know, it's going to give them that extra boost now coming into the running. But I
don't know. To be fair, the way the results are going, like, you know, I don't know. You know, I'm kind of enjoying them just winning games at the moment, and you know, winning tough games that we wouldn't have won in the last few years. And you know, it's amazing, like watching every weekend you see the results, you're thinking, okay, that's another 3 points for West Ham, and you're thinking, wow, still fifth. You can't believe it.
It's weird. It's weird. And actually, weird, isn't it? It's strange because I remember, I think there was one point I realised that this was a strange season. I think it was Man City Liverpool a few months, maybe a month or so ago, and the result came in, and I thought, well, that's a good result for us. Usually I'm bothered about Burnley versus Sheffield United, do you know what I mean, or something like that. But it was like, God, that's weird. And also, you know, to change the mentality of the fan base. I mean, obviously we lost to Man City the other week, and usually if West Ham lose on Twitter, it's all like, you know, rubbish, rah, 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 rah. But actually everyone's like, oh, lucky boys, we were so
good.
This is weird.
It's brilliant. Like, you know, they've done some, I think, as well, the business like Moyes did with letting Haller go.
Yeah.
I know like we lost some money like with that as well, but I think it's good business, to be fair, letting him go. Hopefully we can get a, proper 15 goal a season strikers in soon. Just a goal scorer again. We've missed that. We've always had that, a proper goal scorer.
Yeah.
So, it'd be good to hopefully all the scouts out there will find one who can get one in, bring one in.
Yeah.
And doing well, fair plays to him. I'm not,
Yeah.
So not knocking him at all. He's brilliant, but we just need that poacher. We need a goal scorer.
Could you imagine where we would be if we had that? There's been a lot of times this season. I'm thinking, obviously, this will be going out on the Sunday when we play Man United. I put it out before we play Man United. So, obviously, the last time we played Man United was back at London Stadium in the league. Back at London Stadium, we had 2,500 fans there. And that was the game where literally we must have had 30 shots on. We could have scored. I think Haller tripped over his own feet. And if we had a striker, I think we'd be like no disrespect to Mark, as you said, Antonio, but I think we'd be scary. I think it'd be a scary prospect. Scary prospect.
Definitely, the team just like the backbone of the team just looks so strong. Like the two centre halves, like fair play to Dawson. He's come in and really done well.
Yeah,
and this is a geezer that couldn't get in his own team. Like, unbelievable.
Well, as a defender yourself, you obviously, that's one of the massive things about this season is this. We've had a few defense, like centre defenders sort of partnerships. We had quite a few in that Man United game actually in the cup. We had about 4 or 5 different ones, but everyone's getting injured. But it's the defence, I think, that's really been sort of the rock that we've all built upon. We've nicked a lot of games. We've got a lot of clean sheets. As you said, Dawson. People. There's rumblings of England for Dawson, which I don't think.
Crazy that, isn't it? Though? But that's David Moyes' speciality, though, because when he was at Everton, they were a hard team to beat. Now West Ham is similar, very hard team to beat. No one's speaking West Ham's an easy 3-point now. I mean, I'm talking about the top 4 teams.
Yeah,
they're going to struggle. West Ham's they're gone to. I watched the game against City and they had Etihad. Like, so proud of them. Like, it was even though they lost the game, but that was a brilliant performance.
Yeah, it's a strange, it's a funny season, but hopefully it's the start of a series of funny seasons. It'll be the norm where we are. I mean, obviously now, wherever we finish this season will be fantastic compared to last season. But next season, if we end up being top 8 next season again, then that's something. Do you know what I mean? Because usually we have a good season and then we have a couple of rubbish ones.
I hope they're backing though. To be fair, I hope they do.
I do. Yeah.
With the players he wants, not who anybody else wants to bring into the squad. It's got to be the people he wants to bring in.
Of course, and I think he's proven it. The 3 signings he's brought, or say 4 with Ben Rama, but say before then, obviously Soufal, Souček, and Bowen. They're 3 bloody good signings. And I mean, from a defender's perspective, someone like Soufal is just like 5 million.
What a buy he is, by the way. And like, I've got both of them in my fantasy football.
Souček was the one that I told everyone to be in their fantasy football league team this year, and that's the trouble because he was like under the radar.
Good price, defensive midfielder, get some goals. Unbelievable, really, really good, really good.
No, it is good to see. It's good to see you walking down the road and you see another West Ham fan, and they don't sort of look down on their feet. They look like, they come, oh, I do, yeah, oh, we're going to win this year, aren't we? Yeah. Having a bit of a giggle with them rather than necessarily, sort of,
the good times are coming back, which is good.
Oh, I hope so. I really hope so. I think the fans deserve it. They deserve it, definitely. And hopefully, whatever's next year, whether it is, Champions League qualifying match next year in June or July, or Europa League or Europa Conference, or even the Betway Cup, whatever that first game will be, hopefully we'll have a full stadium by then.
Yeah, that'll be brilliant.
Brilliant. Well, it doesn't mean I've got to start getting the train. I know it's been selfish.
At the moment.
I quite like. I mean, I'm not being funny. I've been doing the job for 20 years, and I've never had a car park space. And for the last season, I've had a car park space. And I know it's sounding really like selfish, but I quite like driving in and being home in 20 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Rather than having to go to stop and go signs along.
I don't like the train thing as well. It jars me because when I take the train and it's like another 20-minute walk to the stadium. It's like, you
That's the thing.
think it's just so close, but it's really not.
It's like an optical illusion, isn't it?
Yeah,
It always
exactly,
is. But
yeah.
I mean, even if you go Pudding Mill Lane, it's a good 10-minute walk. But even, I mean, not even funny. Even parking, where I park, it's still it's by one side of the stadium. If they're going around the Pudding Mill Lane, you still got to have a 10-minute walk. But at least I get my steps in. That's one thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
At least you get my steps in. And God, do I need it? Let's be honest.
I need it at the moment.
It is, mate. I'm not being funny. Under here it looks like it looks good, but under here it's just all McDonald's. It's all McDonald's, man, isn't it? It is. It's so bad, but it's so true. But there are some advantages. I'll be honest. I've had my jab. I had my jab.
Yeah, did you?
Because of It was
what,
like
overweight?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had my jab. Yeah, it was it was like when I think it must have been a special day because literally it was like the fatties day. I'll be honest. So there's like me, and there's like literally everyone was like overweight, and I was like, oh God, I felt even worse because it's like, oh, I'm in this group, aren't I? Yeah, not a mold, no, I'm overweight. But anyway, that's okay. Doesn't matter. At least I'm 85% safe, whether it is. And so
It's what they said. Yeah.
So
you can still get it though, can't you?
Of course, I can still get it. You can still get the flu. I mean, I used to get a flu jab. I still get the flu, innit? It's like there's no difference. But it's
true.
If it means that people can, and
get back to reality, right?
It's just needle. I hate needles, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't like needles at all. I passed out on my BCG test.
You're not the only one that passed out. I know, like
but the test, like when they
just the test.
Yeah.
Oh, the prick test.
The prick test. Oh, wow. Yeah. Because
needles either. I remember him, he hates needles, Joe Cole. He hates needles. Let
me get Joe on. Oh, brilliant! I'll say that. We should have Joe on soon in a few months, in a couple of weeks' time. He's a bit busy though, but that'd be funny. Oh, I'll make a note of that. Don't worry, he's gonna get rinsed because he's. But then I'm the same. Anyway, that's enough talking about needles and stuff because I'm feeling all goosebumpy already. Right, let's talk about the old days. So he said, 7 years at the club, from under 13s, under 14s, all the way. In terms of your time at West Ham, obviously we got the 1999. We have to start with that. That makes sense. The 1999 FA Cup Youth final, being the captain. Obviously we still talk about it. You still have your reunions, and the club still do stuff on the website. That must have been incredible for a young lad to be involved in that whole thing.
Yeah, it was incredible. I didn't really realize how big it was, to be fair.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it was massive at that time when we're playing in it. It's, for me, just a kid from Upton Park. I lived in Upton Park, as well, right, 2 minutes from the stadium, and for me, it was just another games we were playing, just beating teams. Like that's all we knew. With the team we've had, we were always winning games. Didn't really lose much on that. So it was just winning games, and we're getting to the semi-final, we're getting to the final, and like people started taking notice. Like Harry Frank was coming to the away games at Warsaw. We was like, oh, what's going on here? Like, so that's when we realized, oh, come on, lads, this must be like, really important.
Serious.
And it was some great memories, great times.
It was. And I mean, I remember that final, it was just mental. The one at Upton Park where, it was only, they opened up one stand, wasn't it? Then up another stand and another stand. And then you had like four deep around the pitch. Oh, it was mental.
No, it was, it was amazing. Like, during, like, when you're standing there, you're seeing people like coming in still. Like the game's already kicked off. Like, the stadium was full. It was ridiculous.
It was mental. It was mental. We've had Bertie on. We've had Anwar on, a few others as well. And it was just like, as a young kid, that was like, giving you a taste of what it could be like, weren't it? Really, with like 20, 30,000 people there watching you play. It was, and then obviously winning. Obviously, it was sort of a foregone conclusion, to be honest. But lifting up the trophy, and as I said, you must be one of the last players to have lifted a trophy for West Ham. I think it is.
It was amazing. I think it might be actually. No, the feeling, it was amazing. It was on my birthday as well. Yeah. So like my 17th, so it was even extra special then. Still, like you said, still like have a reunion with the boys. Still keep in touch with like a lot of the boys. yeah, it was a brilliant moment.
It was good fun. Yeah, and I love the fact that you had the reunion, you had it was the match the other year, weren't there as well, and it's great that sort of keep that tradition going, because as you said, it was a special. As you said, you were beating everyone. You were smashing everyone, that season.
That age group, like imagine, like look at the boys we had in the team. Like I think every single person, could have played first team. And I think in a different situation, we all could have and should have been in the first team.
Yeah,
I think West Ham would have made a lot of money, by promoting everyone there, because they were all talented, all good enough to play in the Prem. To be honest with you.
Oh, definitely.
I think I'm not sure. I think Newts, Coley, Carrick, Garcia.
Yeah.
I think, and Bywater.
Yeah,
a lot who actually played.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? But obviously, you as I said, unfortunately, never broke into the first team. But obviously, you were a trainee and everything like that. So obviously, you were still involved. Were you anyone's boot boy?
Yeah. I used to clean kits.
Yeah,
it's the worst person you could have. The worst person that could have given me kits as well. Moody Git. It was like he ended up. He's such a moody git, but one of the best geezers in the world. Like, such a nice guy. Paul Kitson, man, I love him to bits. But such a mood. When I was young, I'm like, this guy. You're so tight. Give me 60 quid for Christmas. Like I said,
was it? Well, that's better than some people. I'll be honest. We had, who's it? Bertie's was Paolo, weren't it? Bertie's was Paolo, and Paolo gave him a pair of boots. Of his boots. Yeah, but they were but his size, and Bertie's 3 sizes bigger, and they didn't come with no shoelaces either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't know whether the Italians do things like that, though. I'm not sure whether they do. Like, maybe that's why they were a bit lost in translation. But I know like Rio's boot boy, and I think Righty, maybe they all got like 100 or 150 and whatever. They're very generous in that, Lance and that. So, 60. But yeah, that's why I was gutted I had Kittle.
Well, do you know why? Because I lived at Loughton at the time when Kits was around, and I'd always see Kits in Woolworths buying pick a mix, but like not like a little bag, like the big one, because he's a Premier League, the proper bags. That's where all the money went on. It went on flumps, flumps and Space Invaders. Yeah.
Oh, really nice guy, man. I love Kits, man. Yeah. So funny, such a funny guy. Took us under his wing as well. A lot of the young lads.
I can imagine.
Really helped us out. Yeah.
I can imagine. And obviously, who did we have on the other day? We had Leon. We had the old Hodges on the other day, and he was he was Julian's boot boy, and he just said, he was a nightmare. He'd want them pristinely clean. He was like, he only had one fucking foot, but
Yeah, it's true. To be fair to Kits, he was probably right to give me 60 quid, because I probably didn't clean his boots properly anyway.
Oh, I love it, man. But obviously, there was some real, as a young lad going into that, and being involved around the first team as well. There was lots of big personalities to learn from, as you said, like Kits and Julian, and just it was, I mean, I
think Dixie was just before I came, and he left just before I came. That was Hodges, just Hodges era. He had like huge personalities, like Razor was through. Pierce, both Piercy, they were there. Righty, Trev. That's some massive changing rooms. Like Leo, Frank, like huge thing. If you didn't have the character, you probably wouldn't survive in that changing room.
Yeah, that's the sort of the vibe I've got when I've spoken to ex-players about that. And I mean, we've had quite a few on the channel, and they said, I think it was JMO. I think JMO was saying that Coley was like a right gobby little git, as a youngster. Yeah.
Joey was quiet. It was like,
maybe JMO just gets to get embarrassed by him in training or whatever. But
exactly. Like, but Coley wasn't gobby at all. He was very polite.
That's good. Ones. Yeah. All right then. JMO's just a liar. Yeah. But then JMO forgot to put. He did forget to put Paolo Di Canio when he's 11 as well.
Oh, so who did he have up top?
He had Canute and Defoe.
That's fair enough.
So that's fair play, but he's like, and afterwards, I got a message after. He went, "Oh, I've got Canio. And I was like, oh, well done, man.
But kind of have to put the Canio in there, though, but,
yeah,
it's a bit...
But I suppose if with Paolo, it was what side of the bed he came out of that day, wasn't it? Whether he was going to be up for it or not. But yeah, and as you said, you had some great, from a defender's perspective, as you said, like legends really, with like Piercy's and Ruddocks and people like that. And I mean, it must have been amazing.
Listen, it was like that YTS at West Ham was brilliant. Like I said, I was around the first team. That to my own horn, I definitely would have broke through the first team if I didn't get injured.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the honest truth. And because I had the best teachers there, like Stuart Pearce, like I've had a reserve game with him, right? And he showed me, like, I was a talker anyway, like coming through 15, 16, I was Tony Carr anyway. I was a talker. That's why I became captain. I was a leader of the team and stuff like that. But playing with Stuart Pearce, right, I just saw something different. And he guided me through that Resi game without doing anything. I did all the running, right? That's when I knew this guy was a legend. Yeah. He just took the whole game and he just bossed it. Clean sheet, and I've never seen anything like it. And just getting me in the right position and like getting there before I had to, do anything stressful. I was already there. It was getting just, by getting in the right positions. And he taught me a lot. And another person, I played with, we played Tottenham away. And I played with Ian Pearce. Yes. And Les Ferdinand kept beating me in the air. And I'm thinking, like, I'm taller than you. How the hell do you keep beating me in the air? Like, and it was like the old tricks. It just kind of, it will stop me jumping. And like, just so Piercy just says, look, is just when he's coming, because he runs, Les kind of runs sideways to you to head it, right? So he says, when he's coming, just take a step forward, block him so he can't get up. And just, you don't even need to jump and just head it. So it's just little tricks like that you're learning from these senior pros that really is you can't buy them. It's amazing.
And you can't. And that as you said, for a youngster coming through, as you said, you got all these wily old tricks in the locker anyway for going forward. And I mean, obviously, as you said, got injured, and then it sort of took a few steps back. Really, there wasn't it. You went on loads of Orient and stuff with Brushy and Cambridge, but then obviously Swansea and played over 100 and something times for Swansea. So
I don't know how I did that with these knees. Like, it's just seriously like that. So like the managers I had in Swansea, they were really good because obviously I couldn't train every day. I had to manage the knee. I was like, it was constantly swelling up, and but I can't believe I played that many games, to be honest. Because when I saw the doctor at West Ham, after the operation, he said I shouldn't ever play football again.
Wow.
I can never, like, I won't ever play professional. Like, the injury was that bad, to be honest. But I just wanted to have it so much. It was just right there. And I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to go for it, work hard, get fit. Unfortunately, I couldn't play at the level that I could play before. I wasn't as quick as I used to be, and I couldn't turn as sharp, and it was a huge knee injury. And once you have a big knee injury, like repair like that, it's difficult to get back to what it used to be. So I had to go down to the lower leagues and really enjoyed myself at Swansea. Like another one of my favorite clubs. Really loved it there.
That's good. And it's really funny. It's a similar story, really, to because I interviewed Hodgie yesterday. His story, but obviously he went to the lower leagues, and obviously I know you played for Scunthorpe as well. But he went to Scunthorpe, and he was there for hundreds. So he did the same thing. He went lower league and had that career because he said, I could have maybe stayed here and just done this, but I wouldn't. There's nothing beats being part of a first team squad. He said, that's Saturdays. And I think
definitely it was a weird one though at West Ham, because at that time when we won the FA Youth Cup and we was all coming through, Harry was kind of like, Harry loved us, he was bringing everybody through, then he left, so it was really difficult because once he left, I was injured. Glenn Roeder took over, rest in peace, and I think he kind of wanted to make his own stamp there and bring his own boys through, and football's all about opportunities. And once you miss your opportunities, there's somebody there waiting to take it, and that's the truth. Injuries, people think when you're injured you want to be injured, I didn't want to be in the in the physio room. Who wants to be in the physio room? I had to come in every single day, 7 days a week, like an hour before everyone, and leave like 2-3 hours after everyone. Like Sundays as well. No one wants to be injured. No one wants to be in that physio room. But like I said, Glenn, wanted to bring his own stamp to it, and he brought in, I think, Glenn Johnson, because he was the next one up after me. So once I'm injured and I've seen this kids come through, Glenn was a really good player. Then after that, he brought Anton through, and it was just like, and I couldn't really be the same as I was.
Yeah,
because I know, like, Izzy that wasn't injured plays for West Ham first team, and that's the truth. Like, you can ask Tony Carr that, or that had, if I didn't get injured, I'd definitely play for the first team. And it was unfortunate. Like I said, like if you miss your opportunity in football, it goes by you. You'll be lucky to, you'll be definitely lucky to get that back.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. But as you said, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's one of those sliding doors moments, isn't it? And so, as you said, if it hadn't happened, then your career would have gone somewhere different rather than so it's one of those things, man. But but as you said, at least you got the memories, and the fact is, as I said, at the moment you're still one of the last people to live. Keep that. That's in your locker, man. They
should bring me back to the club, though. I might bring some good luck.
That's what we should do. I'll have a word. I'll have a word on next Sunday. I'll have a word. No, you can't see it. I'm stuck up in the gods anyway at the moment. So but I think so. I think there's one. I think there's definitely. I mean, obviously, at the moment, there's obviously, you've got people like Declan Rice coming through. There's a lot of the youth teams, youth players on the peripherals who have been brought in for the Carabao Cups and things like that. Next year, obviously, when we're in the Champions League, we'll need our youth team because they'll be playing in the cup games. So it's.
But the thing is, like David Moyes, he gives opportunities to kids. He did it at Everton, and he will do it at West Ham, and he has done it at West Ham. And I think it's good for them. If they know that, come on, they see other players like Declan playing like every week in, week out, and they're gonna try their best to get through to the first team. Totally. I know West Ham got some really talented players. They've got another good centre half coming up, right?
They've got
loads.
Yeah, they got they've put a few out on loan as well. They've got Alese, he's a good player. I mean, Baptiste is sort of a centre back / defense.
Is he going on loan?
What's that?
Have they put him in defensive midfield as well, Baptiste?
He came on. I think he came on. When he made his debut, I think he came on as a defensive midfield.
Yeah, they always do that to us when we're defenders. They never when you're a young defender, they'll always bring you on as a defensive midfielder because they don't want to risk like leaving you at the back, and So, they always do that. So every centre half will come on as a defensive midfield to start with.
There's a good right back, Ashby. I like Ashby. He's mustard. Harrison Ashby. He'll be good. So it's almost I think for the last couple of years I think it's fair to say that they haven't really obviously under Pellegrini and stuff. It was more about bringing the foreign players in. Spending a lot of money. Yeah. Where actually, as you said, Moyes has gone back to more of a grassroots mentality, and hopefully it'll pay dividends. Not just by bringing kids through, but going and paying less for hungrier players in the Championship.
Exactly, like the business he's done with the two Czech players is fantastic.
Yeah, and they're mustard. I mean, you look at what they do. I mean, I know you're on Twitter, and you look at what they do with Isla's army, and and the fact is that we still we have the Czech Republic ambassador is like a West Ham fan now, and I love it. It's brilliant. It's great to see.
Oh, really? He's a West Ham fan now?
No, kinda. Yeah. I mean, he is.
We had our Czech back in our day, wasn't it? Thomas Repka.
Yeah, we've had a good, and even before then, Ludo.
Yeah.
We do all right with Czech boy. Even Radislav Kovac. I liked Radislav Kovac. He didn't do a lot for us, but we've always done well with Czech players. So I'll have a few of them more coming summer.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
But there's the guy up front in it, Seema. That's the one. That's the boy, isn't he? The Seema, the teenager. He's a bit
special, is he?
Oh, he's special.
Goal scorer.
Yeah. No, I think it's 19, something like that. He when they played Leicester 3 weeks ago, scored a great goal. Good player.
Really?
Yeah, he's the one. Abdoulaye Seema, I think his name is.
So he's about where did they get him from?
I think they got it from the. I think he came from the youth team. I think.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Might be a local boy then from London.
Yeah, we'll see, man.
Yeah, went to, yeah, that's good. So he's around the first team.
I don't know that you're not seeing. No, sorry, Seema. He's in Prague. They're the guys. I want to bring him over. Sorry, I want to bring. Yeah, so he got confused. Seema is a guy who plays for Slavia Prague, and so check. Head of recruitment for West Ham.
Oh wow! So you're already looking ahead, like you never know.
You got to this game, innit?
Yeah,
to
that's
get those
true.
youngsters and get them quickly. Obviously after Souček and Soufal, I guarantee the whole Premier League is looking at that Czech league now, thinking we can get some bargains here. So,
give me a minute. I'll set the alarm for the interview. Hold on 2 seconds.
It's all good. It's all good. See, mate. Yeah. Very good. So that's who we're after. Hopefully. But that's all good, man. That's all good.
Yeah, we're doing it a bit later, so.
Oh, don't worry. It's all right.
Yeah.
That's it. We're exposing the fourth wall by saying things like that, Izzy, isn't it, man? But yeah. Right. Let's talk about the Hammers 11. So basically, everyone we've had on the channel, actually, apart from Harry, to be honest, and a couple of others, Bish, Iriekpen, have put together an 11. So the fans put their 11s together, and the players. We've had Tony Carr on, and we've had all of them on. And so the idea is to put together an 11 of the players that you played and trained with. So obviously, played in the youth team, but also you might want to put people you trained with, because obviously it's up to you, man. You put all you want. You could put everyone you played with rather than train.
Do I put myself in it or not?
Of course you can, man. You can put yourself in, get those appearances up. It's up to you, my man. It's up to you. But that's what we'll do, and it's only a bit of fun.
You know what? I could end up, because I was around the first team as well. I was training with the first team quite a bit. I could end up picking a lot of the top players from there, but I think I'm gonna go with my boys from the FA Youth Cup. And I'm gonna put Bywater in goal.
Let's find. Let me find him. Where's Steve? I love Stephen. He's a lovely bloke. We've had him on. He's absolutely mental.
Yeah, he's a nutter. Like
crazy.
There was a story in England under 18s.
Yeah.
No, I can't tell it, but yeah. So and I'm gonna have me in the middle, play 3 at the back. Me in the middle, gonna have Terrell Forbes on the right and Stevlin Angus on the left.
Nice.
Of the 3.
Nice.
Right.
No.
And
I'm gonna write this down because I'm gonna write it down. Yeah, right. So we're gonna put Stephen in, and then I'll put this on afterwards. I'll post. So we're gonna have Izzy. We're gonna have Terrell. And I love watching Terrell's Instagram. I love watching all the. Yeah, he's good. He's good shout. He's good shout, man. So we're gonna put you, Terrell, and who you gonna have on your as a 3?
And Stevlin Angus.
Yes.
So the 3 that played in the final.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I like. Yeah. I like this. Yeah.
I'm gonna have Adam Newton on the right wing.
Oh, good old Newts.
Yeah. And Sean Byrne on the left wing.
Oh, Sean Byrne. These are some great names. Takes me back, man. Go on in. Yeah, okay.
I'm going to have Joe Cole, of course.
Yeah.
Michael Carrick.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah.
Richie Garcia at the top of that too.
Oh, this is a formation. This is a proper formation. I like it. Go on in.
This I was struggling with, because I have to go either Defoe, Bertie, or Amos for your one, right? So these, because Mossy got injured in the final, so he couldn't play, but he played the first few games in the FA Youth Cup.
Yeah.
But and Bertie's such a great goal scorer. So obviously we all know what Defoe can do. He's unbelievable. But I think I'm going to stick, because Jay didn't come till a year later. He wasn't in our youth team, so he came a year later. So I'm going to put Bertie Brayley with Amos Fayoa.
Nice, man. I think it's a good. I think it's a great shout. I think that makes more sense, because I think you could put in Trevor Sinclair and
I could put all the boys righty, because it's still one of the best shooting training session ever in my life. We've done, Ian Wright and Jermaine Defoe, like just going go for goal, unbelievable. I could have stuck both of them in there. Canute, Di Canio, Berkovic, John Monker, what a player he was, by the way. I don't think people give John Monker enough credit.
No, I think you're right, and I think they don't give him credit because I think when he came towards the end of his West Ham career, he changed and became more of an aggressive player, wasn't it? So when it was Swindon, it was Swindon. Obviously, Glenn Hoddle was his manager, and we've had Monks on, and he said, I was a skillful guy, and
technically, Monks was unbelievable. In training, some of the stuff he used to do. That's why, But for me, he doesn't get enough credit at all. What a top player he was.
Yeah. But I think because towards the end of his career, he would always be a sub and always come on and get the first yellow card, and people would literally be counting on their fingers how long it was before he got a yellow card. It was a bit of a running joke, I think, between fans, but it became more of a joker than a player. If that makes sense. Definitely. I think there was an incredible number of players there, and as I said, as a kid, man, going through that and training, and as you said, being 2 minutes away from the ground ball there, and it
was amazing. Because there was a time, I remember when my old coach at West Ham, schoolboy under 14, he left and went to Arsenal.
Yeah,
and I was actually meant to go to Arsenal. So I was going to go with him. Then I had people the West Ham people come over to my house straight away and stop.
I suppose they could walk as well. They could just walk.
They definitely stopped that. But I wasn't ever gonna leave, to be honest. That was my club, and all my mates were there. You know what I mean? And we had the best players. What am I gonna leave for? You know what I mean? So we was winning everything. So I was never gonna leave.
No, of course you weren't, man. But I mean, as I said, and it must have been, but it must have been tough as well. Going, making, going, leaving. And going, because as you said, you were sort of, you had, you thought you could still get it into the first team, and you saw there's other people going, and it must have been a bit of a wrench, because you said you've been there since under 13, under 14 level, and then to go to a new club, it's scary.
No, it is, because West Ham is all I knew, really.
Yeah, exactly.
I never really knew how different clubs were until I went to Leyton Orient on loan. I can't swear on this, but I was like, what the?
And if you want, man, I don't know.
I enjoyed my time with the boys there and that. But I didn't want to leave West Ham, but Glenn was there. Like I said, rest in peace, Glenn. But we were brought under Tony Carr, and Harry was the person we had to impress. You know what I mean? So Harry was our manager, you know what I mean? So he was the gaffer, and till now he's always going to be, the gaffer, if I'm honest, and it was different. When he went, I just didn't see us getting any opportunity when Harry, a lot of the FA Youth Cup boys had just, because Carrick had already broke into the team, Joe Cole had already broke into them, Richie Garcia, but the rest of the boys, we just kind of got ushered out slowly. And, which was there was a lot of pressure on Glenn as well, because, he kind of had to keep them up, and, no one was getting any opportunities to play. And, for me, I thought he should have played the youngsters, because we were the club. Some of the players that were playing, I didn't think gave everything, if I'm honest. I actually went into his office and said that to him. I had that meeting and I said, look, you're playing so-and-so, but they're not going to give you what we're going to give you. We're part of the club, West Ham is in us. So I think you should give the, youngsters a chance. And they went down anyway. So, they wouldn't it wouldn't have been as much pressure if he was playing the kids. He could have just used that as an excuse. Well, I had to play the kids.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. And I think, it is a pressure, isn't it? And obviously even more so now, there's a pressure in obviously staying up and things like that. And, even
money, it's a big business.
It is. And I think that obviously stifles, unless you're competing on, like City, competing on four fronts, then you've got the luxury of being able to blood in players and get a bigger squad and things like that. But it was always the way. That's why I quite like, that's why I've liked the last, this season particularly, because obviously in the cups, but with the early rounds of the cups, it was a great, I think they were probably one or two first teamers in their squads, and it was all the youngsters, and that was great to see. And we've had a lot of people on the coaching staff. We've had Kevin Keane and various others on here, and they say there is a good crop of boys coming through. So, hopefully we'll get a bit back to those days, man. Because I think
that's good. That's good.
It makes sense. And it makes sense why Harry was so keen, because obviously Harry came through the youth academy, and and so he's not silly. If you could, you look at how much if you'd sold, Cole, Carrick, Rio, Defoe, Lamps, Glenn, all these guys. That's hundreds of millions of pounds worth of player in today's game, for nothing. Because they grew through. Apart from Defoe, we pinched him from Charlton, but still, it cost peanuts by then. But
it's worth it. Yeah,
it's the way how teams like West Ham have to operate. It just is. You can't spend 70, 80 million, 100 million pounds on a player, but we can breed in 3 or 4 really good youth guys, and if they break it, great. If not, then obviously they can go and like Josh Cullen, for example, who's smashing it in Anderlecht at the moment. Where arguably he probably would have got into the first team now, but things happen. But anyway,
that's good though. Seeing all the youngsters come through, but it's just scary that big teams always come to pinch West Ham's top players, though, don't they?
It's like now, isn't it? It's like now with Souček, I don't think Declan Rice, I think he's not going anywhere until at least next summer, I reckon, at least.
Yeah.
But with Souček, and it's like, I was talking to a Leicester fan the other day, and obviously when they won the league, then Kante went and Chilwell's gone and and all the big clubs just go, pick.
Yeah, they do, because they can pay that wages.
Yeah, they can pay the fee and the wages, isn't it? And
they can pay the fee and the wages. To be fair, most clubs, most of the top clubs now, can really pay the wages if they wanted to. You know what I mean? So it's how much you want to keep that player.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the top Chelsea, City, they can go to we'll give you 200 quid a week. That's a life-changing situation for your family. Of course, and that's over 100 million for West Ham. Are you gonna someone you brought up, and you're gonna sell for over 100 million? It's what do you do?
It's mental. It's just it's eye-boggling now. I think for me, actually, I've always watched. I've watched a lot of American footballers, American sport as well, and obviously they have the draft system, don't they? Where it's and then basically the shittest teams get the first draft unless they change it. And I actually think that's a really good way of helping to distribute.
I would have ended up at Plymouth. What do you mean?
We were 8th, so you'd have been like the 12th.
I would have ended up somewhere up north or south or something like.
Oh dear.
Imagine Joe Cole, that worst team. He would have ended up somewhere because he would have been number 1 pick that year.
Yeah. All right, bad idea. Move on, Russ. My other idea is to not give managers more than a 1-year contract, because I don't get a 1 year. I don't get a 3-year deal at work. If I don't perform, I'm out. You know what I mean? It's like and
you don't get. You don't get paid up either.
And I won't get sacked. If I get sacked, I'm going to get 2 years worth of money. If I get one sacked, anyway. That's one crusade. All right, man, go back and play with your lovely family. I've taken you away far too long, but anyway, thank you so much.
I really enjoyed it. Anytime, pal.
Absolute pleasure, and thank you to everyone for watching. If you're watching or you're listening to it on the podcast or whatever, give it a share. For me, it is take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Get your jabs when you get your appointments. Come on, you irons, and we'll see you again. Come on, you irons. There we go. Take care, man.